All right, Scorpio, this is your December 2020 love forecast and horoscope. I'm going to pull some cards from the Romance Angels deck, and then we're going to clarify with the Tarot. This is a general reading, so messages won't resonate with all of you. But keep in mind that you might want to take a look at your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign too. Those messages might resonate with you a little bit more. Before I get into the tarot, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the sky, because that will help us inform what's happening with the cards. So Scorpio, the sun right now is in your second house in Sagittarius until December 21st. The second house is the money you make from the business you own and the money you make from the company you work for. So the second house isn't necessarily a romance house. I'll be frank with you. It's more about work. And right now, we're in the middle of eclipse season. And these eclipses are falling on the Sagittarius-Gemini axis. So for you, Scorpio, that is in your second house. That's Sagittarius. And it's also happening in your eighth house of Gemini. So the eighth house is the STD house. I'm not saying you have an STD. It's sex, taxes, and death. The eighth house is ruled by your ruling planet, Pluto. So there's going to be things bubbling up over the course of the next 6 months that bring light to things that were hidden. Scorpio rules things that are hidden. We know that you love your secrets, Scorpio. So, over the next couple of months, you might be coming to your own realizations about what you want and your highest purpose, and your path might be changing. Vice versa, things on the romance and intimacy front might be changing too. The eclipses on this axis will happen through December 2021, so it's about a year. These will bring in big changes, endings, new beginnings. You might be switching up relationships this year. You might start a new relationship this year. But really right now, as the energies go for December, you're mostly focused on work. The eighth house is also about joint ventures. So you might be looking to get into a business with someone. Again, not necessarily romance, but the eighth house is definitely about intimacy. So that definitely has an impact on you, like I said, for the next 6 months. Eighth house, let's talk about that. So Scorpio, you are the eighth house. You are 8 signs past Aries. Aries is the first house of the zodiac. The eighth house is about secrets, passion, intimacy, hidden things, like I said. And Scorpio, you at your highest vibration, you become the phoenix. And essentially it means this: you have all of these secrets, all of this intensity built up inside of you because there's always a crisis of self-identity. And once you deal with the self-identity, you rise from the ashes. It's a rebirth and a death. And you fly through the sky and you soar and you harness the benefits of the eighth house. And it's Pluto, it's the underworld, it's things unseen. So you have to harness the things unseen. You have to harness, what people might call the darkness in order to really come to your full fruition. So that's what's happening with the sun. The sun is going to move into your third house of communication on December 21st. It moves into Capricorn at that time. Capricorn is your third house of communication. And Saturn and Jupiter have been camped out there, and your ruling planet, Pluto, for quite some time. So Saturn has been in your communication planet. That's also the house of short distance travel. It's been there since December 2017. So there could have been restrictions, just generally speaking, on that. Saturn brings delays and restrictions. And Jupiter, which is a benefic planet, expands whatever energy it happens to be next to. It brings gifts, but if it's next to a malefic planet, like Saturn is in ancient astrology, it tends to magnify that energy. So it could have been quite intense. Communication can be a little bit off over the last couple of years. You might be struggling to express yourself your true self. This could also deal with expressing what it is you want in the boudoir, because that deals with 8th house matters, right? So there's definitely something going on there over the next 6 months. Venus, the goddess of love and relationships, is camped out in your house. That's the 1st house. Venus in Scorpio, unfortunately, is at its detriment, which basically means this. Venus rules the sign of Taurus. Taurus is on the opposite side of the wheel from Scorpio. So that 7th house matters for you, right? So first and 7th on the exact opposite side of the wheel. In the 1st house, Venus can bring a lot of attraction to you. You could have a lot of people giving you attention. It brings that type of energy. It makes you more attractive. It brings money. It brings love, right? In a detriment state, it can still bring all those things, but in a disguise. So you're not seeing something really for what it is until Venus moves out of your 1st house and into Sagittarius. And that's going to happen on December 15th. That happens one day after a total solar eclipse happens in Sagittarius in your 2nd house. So there's a lot happening with you, your money, your work, your intimate life, joint ventures, and this death and rebirth process that you're going to be going through quite significantly all of 2021. Another interesting aspect that's happening just a few weeks ago is this opposition between Venus in your 1st house and Uranus in your 7th house. Partnerships, one-on-one relationships, and marriage and legal contracts. Uranus is the great liberator. It liberates you from the chains that bind you. So you very well could have decided to end a relationship. It also brings shock and awe. That's usually how Uranus works. It can also bring in this serendipitous type love as well, where you're almost bewitched by the senses, and it can bring in this really exciting time. But know that aspects between Venus and Uranus are usually very short-lived. It brings in a foreign energy, and it comes in just as quickly as it leaves. So keep that in mind. If you had a fling or you're trying to see someone and it ended abruptly, that was probably that Venus-Uranus combination playing out in your 1st house and your 7th house of partnerships. You also have Neptune sitting in your 5th house of romance, children, investments, and fun and games. So that's trining. That's a trining aspect. You're both water signs. You, Scorpio, are a water sign, and so is Pisces. Neptune is a dreamy, nebulous planet. When it's moving forward through the progression of the signs, it tends to cloud things. It tends to create confusion. So when you think about what's happening on your level, 1st house you, and 5th house, your romantic interest, there could have been some cloudiness and confusion over the last 4 or 5 months. But Neptune was retrograding through most of 2020, at least for about 4 or 5 months of it. When Neptune's retrograde, the rose-colored glasses come off and you see situations for exactly what they are. So your interests in love and romance, you might have had realizations over the last week or two, even as Neptune stationed direct and has started to move forward out of its retrograde motion. And then you compound that with the eclipses. The eclipse in Gemini is illumination because it's a lunar eclipse. So that's when information comes out. Gemini is the chatty Cathy sign of the zodiac. So there are probably a lot of messages coming through, maybe over last week, this week, and probably into the following week. Let's see what else is happening for you guys. Let's talk about Capricorn. Capricorn energy is harmonious energy for you, and that's where the power planets are sitting. Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in your home sign. December 21st, on the winter solstice, is when Saturn, that's been camped out in your third house for 3 years, and Jupiter, that's been in that same house for a year, are going to conjoin at those very last degrees of Capricorn. And the 20th degree to the 29th degree of each sign is a point of maturity. So you have to show that you've learned the lessons. Saturn is the taskmaster, it's karma, it's time, it rules this physical world. So it's asking you to reconsider how you communicate with people. Another really interesting, let me back up. Saturn and Jupiter are conjoining at those 28, 29 degrees of Capricorn. And then on the 21st, on the day of the winter solstice, they're going to conjoin at 0 degrees of Aquarius, moving into your fourth house of foundation, family, comfort, home, real estate. So you're going to be reviewing the foundation of a lot of your relationships over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. That's bigger energy. That plays out over a longer period of time. But just know you're going to start to see this subtle shift move to reviewing the foundation of where you live, your foundation with your family, relationships. It all ties in with this eclipse. And the eclipse, the total solar eclipse in Sag on the 14th kind of kicks it off, so to speak. So we'll keep those energies in mind as we play this out over the next couple of months. But know that there's a lot happening in the sky right now. It's intense energy. Eclipses bring new beginnings and endings. They can be fairly abrupt. But know that whatever's leaving, don't go chase it. You need to let it leave your life, because there is an element of destiny with the solar eclipse happening on December 14th. It's happening right on the nodes of the moon. So it's got kind of a destined feel to it. So whatever leaves, let it leave. It's not meant for you. It's not meant for your higher purpose. Whatever comes in, know that you're still dealing with Venus at its detriment. So there could be some tough love involved. It doesn't always bring the most pleasant things, to be frank. So wait until maybe Venus heads out of Scorpio, your first sign, into Sag. Things will become a little bit clearer over the next few weeks. But just know this is going to be an intense time for everyone. We're all dealing with these eclipses on some level. And for you, it's on that second house of income and on your 8th house of sex, taxes, and death. So rise to the occasion, become the Phoenix, Scorpio, because that's where you harness the most energy. Another interesting aspect, with this Venus, Uranus happening in your 7th, that could be a time where you're dealing with sexual identity. And people could be wrestling with their sexual identity, and people might come out during this time too. Venus is the great liberator. So if things have been hidden, and especially with Saturn and Jupiter sitting in your communication planet, I would kind of expect to see maybe some people come out. That message isn't for everybody, but it is something that is prevalent in the sky right now. So this is a general reading for Scorpio, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Sun. We're going to pull 2 romance angel cards, and then we're going to clarify with the tarot. All right, here we go, Scorpio. Wedding. Ooh, here we go. The situation involves a marriage. Like I said, Venus is sitting in your house. You've got a lot. There could be a lot of people paying attention to you right now. You might have some options in love. Maybe one of them is promising. We're going to find out. All right. Is it safe for you to love? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. That's an interesting card. So it's asking you to open up your heart, Scorpio. It's asking you to let people into your darker side, into the deep emotion that you have. Your hidden side. People want to get to know you. You have a tendency to keep it under wraps. That's that mysterious Scorpio. That's why people are magnetically drawn to you. Gotta let people see that inner self. All right, Scorpio. Let's clarify these energies. I'm gonna pull some tarot. All right, here we go. 3 wands. Weighing up some options, maybe. Ooh, the Empress. This is Venus. We just talked about Venus. It's in your sign. You're getting that attention. 3 of Cups. Celebration. Got two threes here. Maybe you got some people that are interested in you. Ooh, very nice. The Sun. This is happiness. This is Leo. Could be dealing with a Leo. That's 5th house too. We just talked about your 5th house. Neptune's over there. So you got to use your intuition. Neptune is intuition. Neptune, okay, it could be nebulous and foggy. There might be some confusion. You're wondering whether or not you can open up your heart. We're going to clarify some of this. Queen of Cups, that could be you. And the Page of Wands. Okay. Messages. It's a good read. Okay, so let's start. You have wedding, and is it safe to open up your heart? So maybe you got someone's got your attention, Scorpio. Maybe you're thinking this could be the one. If you're partnered up, maybe you're having a hard time opening up about something. Like I said, the eclipse season has this tendency to bring information about that's been brewing for a while. So maybe you're thinking about divulging something. All right, so let's talk about this first row with the wedding. You have 3s here. 3s always represent options. In a love reading, you could have your eye on 2 people right now, or 2 people could have an eye on you. And you're definitely exhibiting that Venus energy. This is the Venus card, the Empress. This is right here. That's the sign of Venus. That's the glyph. She represents fertility, love, beauty, money. It's all of the good feels. So you're definitely harnessing this Venus energy, Scorpio, which you should. You have that magnetic draw because of Pluto. People are magnetically drawn to you. So with the holidays here, you very well could be maybe not socializing so much, only because it's COVID era. But you're definitely weighing up your options because you got 2 3s here. This is the man looking out at his options. He's deciding. What's the good fit here? This is fire energy, Wands, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. You could also be dealing with another water sign, right? Cups represent water. So that's Cancer, Pisces, and yourself. So this could be you. This could be you weighing up your options. This could be the other person, the other people. You got options here. There's no doubt. And you're deciding, which one. Someone's deciding. You're taking it to the next level. You're wondering whether it's safe to open up your heart to these people, right? Your heart's guarded, Scorpio. You've probably been hurt in the past. You're wondering, is this the right option? Are one of these the right option? And I'm going to say probably, because you got the Sun. The Sun is romance. The Sun is happiness. The Sun provides, the good feels, all of the good feels. Queen of Cups. That could very well be you. She's good with her emotions. She's emotionally intelligent. She's got 1 foot in the water, which also represents spirituality. So that's telling you to open up your 3rd eye chakra and to use your intuition as to what's right for you. You're definitely getting messages of love. This is passion. Someone's sexting you. This could also represent children too. Pages represent children. Neptune's sitting in your 5th house, so someone could be pregnant. This won't resonate with all of you, but look at the child on the horse. Pages represent children. Maybe there's news of pregnancy coming in for some of you. If that's not it, though, you definitely got some happy situations coming up here, Scorpio, because you got a lot of cups and you got a lot of fire. So you're mixing the passion with the emotion, which is exactly what you need to do. Scorpio, you're an intense emotional sign. You got to let it out and let people see that. The beautiful side of you. All right, so let's pull one more for the outcome. Let's see how this all ends, right? The World. Very nice. That is the last card of the Tarot. So you are definitely manifesting a happily ever after here. Some of you are definitely going to meet your partner over the next couple of weeks to 6 months with the eclipses. It brings in that energy. Very nice reading, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed this. The World is a great card. Oh, by the way, what's interesting about this card is that the fixed signs are on this card. Scorpio, you are a fixed sign. We just talked about the Phoenix rising from the ashes through rebirth. That's the Phoenix. The world is turning for you. It's time for you to step out of the darkness and start harnessing the options, weighing up your options, finding that love. That's what it's there for, right? All right, harness the world. Great reading, Scorpio. If you've enjoyed this, feel free to book a personal reading. My email's in the description box below, and we'll talk to you next time.